Feldco Football Recap Live is brought to you by Feldco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO, Chicago's home renewal experts. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. Hooters. At Hooters, originality isn't just one thing, it's everything. World-famous wings and more, served up by the iconic Hooters girl. Hooters, always original. Dr. Pepper, an American original, just like our Chicago Bears. Grab an ice-cold, refreshing Dr. Pepper today at a McDonald's near you. Special Olympics Illinois. Special Olympics Illinois, so I did. Learn more at SOILL.org. Take that. Hey, welcome into Feldco Football Recap Live. That's Tom Waddle. That's Alex Brown. I'm David Kaplan. We are at Hooters. We are in Aurora, so if you're listening, you're watching, come on out. Great food, amazing wings. Yusra, one of the lovely Hooters girls. She's bringing us a plate of wings. Well, she'll be back with some outstanding holiday specials we'll tell you about. Yusra, thank you very, very much, and we'll hear from her a little bit later in the show. We'll have food for you guys all night long. Let's get into our Four Seasons heating, air conditioning, plumbing, electric game recap of the Bears' 38-13 blowout loss in Santa Clara, California to the 49ers. Tommy, that was as ugly as it gets. Wow, were they blown out?
Yeah, they were out coached, they were out worked, they were out executed, they were out everything. And what was really disappointing is the expectation was that with the coaching change, that you'd see a more focused group that would come out there and give you a solid effort and would be, detailed and
they were worse.
Up. It's the worst half of. I stopped watching after halfway through the third quarter. I was just showing Alex some of the videos that I kind of put together. And it's just inexcusable what some of the players are doing right now. I think that, I said to you guys a while ago that while, there was coaching malfeasance going on, there was a ton of mistakes with regard to how they were being coached. I thought the players were getting a bit of a pass all throughout the course of, the conversation. And now the boogeymen are out of the building. There's no Shane Waldron. There's no Matt Eberflus. Yep. My expectation was that these players were going to start playing like we've seen them play in the past and what their expectation level has been. And I have to tell you, look, all I got to say to you is the 49ers outgained this Bears team 319-4 in the first half and outscored them 24-zip. You tell me this team was ready to play.
AB, they had more punts in the first half than yards.
That's insane.
5 punts,
yes.
4 yards. That was the most pathetic game I watched all year.
That was brutal. I think the week before I posted something about show me a worse half in football
than the Detroit first half.
Yeah, and then the Detroit first half, and then they did. They showed me one. I was like, oh man,
hold my beer.
Jeez, yeah, like wow, like I didn't think it could get worse, and it did. It got worse. And what Tommy's saying, like I'm with him. Like it's. The players got to take accountability. Yeah. They have to. Like, Waldron's gone. Eberflus is gone. What's the problem now? Yeah. Like, and honestly, I think the fans, we have to understand, like, we've been seeing this. We've just been overlooking it. Like, when you hear about Stevenson, and he gets demoted or gets held out from starting and goes into second series, and he walks off the practice field when he's being told that.
Yeah, that made no sense.
0 sense. Zero. That stuff doesn't happen. When DJ Moore is on the field in Arizona, he's running a route, he goes out of bounds, he walks off the field. The play is still going on. I hear people, they hit me up on Twitter. It's like, oh, Alex, he can't catch the ball. He can block.
Yes.
The quarterback is running for his life. You can block.
What if the ball got fumbled?
What if it got fumbled? You can recover it.
Yep.
Like, there's a lot of things you can do, not walk off the field. Like, I've never seen some of the stuff I'm seeing from this football team. And honestly, the players that are doing this stuff, take it how you want to. You gotta get them out. You gotta get them out the building. You gotta get them out the building. I don't care who they are. If you're gonna act like this and you're gonna play like this is not what we need. And for the fans, understand that when you look at Detroit, You look at what they built. They didn't do it overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. Now, there was a time in Campbell's first year, they came on, they were like 2-9 or something. He was like, we're so close. We're so close. Everybody looking at him like he's crazy.
Correct.
What do you mean you're
they
so
started
close?
1-6.
Correct.
And he goes, we're so close.
Then they took off, right? And that's how it happened. Lovey's first year, we won 4 games. I want to say 4 games. Could have been 3, but 4 games. The next year, we started out 1-3, and then we won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
Like, at some point, it's just, but you got to have a coach with a plan, and he sticks to it, and he's just going. He's not going to the beat of the fans or of anything else. He has a plan in place, and that's what he wants to do. And until you find that, you're going to be in trouble.
They had 2 missed assignments in the first 2 drives. The 49ers, a team that had been just dog walked the previous 2 weeks, they got manhandled in Green Bay. Then they got manhandled in Buffalo. They came home, and they were clinging to very slim playoff hopes. But what they did was they rallied. They're very well coached. They were prepared, and they were ready to kind of pick themselves up and play. And this Bears team, like, again, the first drive, the 49ers take the ball and shove it down their throats. And at the end, they score on a play where Tyreek Stevenson blows an assignment. They get the ball back, and in their first possession, Cole Kmet blows an assignment on second down. And now you're 3rd and long. Like, this team was not ready to play.
No.
And, I mean, there's examples of this throughout the course of the entire game, and it's just so frustrating because you thought that once the coach was fired, this would be a wake-up call and this would be a rally cry for this team. And, I mean, it was the stark differences between the 2 franchises were on full display in Santa Clara on Sunday. The San Francisco 49ers, a team that is rich in current history, winning history. Not like, look, to go back in Bears history, with all due respect to everyone, this is the charter franchise. They haven't been consistent championship winners since the 40s and 30s, 40s, and 50s. Like, the recent track record for our favorite franchise is not very good. The 49ers, 21 division titles, 5 Super Bowl championships. You watch them play facing adversity. You watch us play facing adversity, and you tell me which organization is getting it right and which one isn't.
The expectation is higher, right? The expectation is higher, and when you look at that team, they're coached well. I'd like to be a fly on the wall. I'd like to be a fly on the wall at Hallis Hall to hear simply this. How many times, let's not beat ourselves, is said? Because that is what we're doing. We beat ourselves
That's
so
all they
much.
do.
That's it. Like, we put ourselves in bad situations, and we beat ourselves. The Washington game, we beat ourselves. Like, the Detroit game, the Minnesota game, like, we do stuff to give them the game.
But my friend Tom Waddle said something to me, and it resonated. I mentioned it on the radio again this morning on ESPN 1000. I said, wow, I think the season just got sideways after the Hail Mary. And he said, if that one play broke your team, then you had no team. You had no team.
No.
You had no culture.
Come on. No, one play, you got to be able to move on. Hey, trust me, 06, that whooping we took from Miami, the Dolphins, when they came in here, they whooped us. We didn't break down. Like, come on. Like, you're a better football team. That 85 team, that same Dolphins team beat the brakes off of them.
He did.
Oh, yeah.
And guess
what?
what?
And they put it together. Right.
They were singing the recording Super Bowl Shuffle the next day.
Like, come on. They're okay. Like, we got this. We know what we did wrong. We're going to change it. Like, this team continues to do the same wrong things and beat themselves.
Does that indict Matt Eberflus even more that the culture could not rebound from a tough loss like
I think it indicts the players
Thank
more.
you. Yes.
More.
Yes.
The players.
Absolutely.
At some point, you get like, okay, listen, and I know people are y'all gonna feel me on this. Y'all gonna feel me on this. Ugh. All right. I love this woman. I think she's awesome. I think she's amazing. But at some point, you got to start blaming her. I said this about Jay Cutler, and everybody was talking about, hey, it's the offensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator, get a new one. Offensive coordinator, get a new one. It's like, okay, well, I mean, Halle Berry is amazing. You know, when you married 5 times, we got to start looking at you. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. We got to start looking at you at some point. Like, if these players, you keep firing coaches, we got to start looking at the damn players at some point.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just keep firing the coaches saying it's the coach's fault, Oh, it's the culture. The coaches aren't bringing the culture together. we got to start looking at these players in the eye like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't hear a peep, not one peep out of DJ Moore prior to him getting $100 million. He get $100 million, oh, he complaining about everything, walking out the damn field and everything. Come on, man. What we doing? Nah, we don't do that. That's not what we do. And you see Keenan Allen, he's dropping passes. You see DJ Moore acting the way he's acting. Who's teaching Odunze what to do? Yeah. What veteran is teaching him how to be a professional? Like, this is the problem that I see, not currently, but in the next 2-3 years. What is Odunze learning from these guys?
Yeah, it's such a great point. Look at, I think we talked about this a little bit last week as well. First of all, you use the eye test. I think that's the best way to establish, who's playing well and who isn't. You tell me, are their top players playing the way they played last year? Is Jalen Johnson playing that way? Is DJ playing that way? Is Cole Kmet playing that way? Is Montez Sweat, who's banged up a little bit, is playing that way? And then you use Pro Football Focus, which, it was an outlet and a group that evaluates players. They had Jalen Johnson rated as the #1 cornerback in the league last year, and rightfully so. Jalen's a fantastic player.
He's like 39.
So, when the level of play is dropping from your most important players, are we just going to blame the coaches for that, or are we going to actually ask the players to hold themselves responsible? So, I know I sound like a broken record, but I keep waiting for it to change, and my hope was, and maybe blindly so, that it would change after they made the coaching change. And look, I don't blame what happened on Thomas Brown or Eric Washington or any of the coaching. Like, they got to wear some of what transpired in Santa Clara on Sunday as well. But what we've done is, historically, we're asking guys to do things that they weren't asked to do to start the season. Thomas Brown, as you have said, has gone from being passing game coordinator to offensive coordinator to interim head coach.
He's going to build a stadium in January.
Right. Eric Washington hasn't called defenses in a regular season game in years. But now you're asking guys in the middle of an adverse situation to take on roles that
and by
they're
the way,
not
the guy on the other side is top 5 coach in the league.
Right. So, none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
No one would ever denigrate Kyle Shanahan.
Well, you have.
I don't know.
I did at the start.
No. I won't say that because everybody that is a Falcons fan talks a lot of trash about him because they swear he lost that Super Bowl for them. Like, people forget that. Like, it's just, Shanahan's great. He's great. Don't forget, he was the one that had the lead against New England. Yeah. Everybody in Atlanta remember that. Okay, they can't stand it.
I would remind people as well. Do you know how long it took Andy Reid to win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, long
17
time.
years. And Andy has always been considered one of the best coaches. We used to kill Andy for poor time, management or the use of timeouts and all kinds of things.
And now he's won like 12 one-score games in a row.
Right. So I mean, coaches aren't going to be perfect. I mean, I think Sean McDermott made some mistakes with how he handled that situation in Los Angeles against the Rams this week. I think they're happy with Sean McDermott in Buffalo. A lot of guys are going to make mistakes. I thought that Matt LaFleur made a couple of mistakes here in Chicago a couple of weeks ago, managing
an elite coach.
And I take Matt LaFleur all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. So, I mean, these guys are going to make some mistakes, but the doozies our crew were making were just, unbelievable.
All right, our apt player of the game, abt.com, and use the code Kaplan25. I'll save you $25 on any purchase, $150 or more. George Kittle.
George Kittle, I was going to say.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, geez, all right.
Six catches, 151 yards.
Okay.
And as my friend Tom Waddle once said, he had unfettered access to the middle of the field.
He did.
Like, what was going on there?
At some point, you got to cover the guy that's killing you.
Yeah.
I mean, when he had, you know what, early on in the game when he had 3 catches for 82 yards, you know what, all right, got you. You tip your cap, all right, good job. But the next 3 catches, like, come on, like, we got to cover this guy. We got to cover him at some point.
Real.
It really is an unfair matchup. And again, I'm not taking a shot at Eric Washington. Again, they've asked him to do something he wasn't brought in here to do. But Kyle Shanahan versus a guy calling defenses for the first time, and it's a defense that has struggled mightily over the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks.
Missing your strong safety.
Yeah, and you're missing your run stuffer. But still, Cap, I mean, guys got to step in and find a way to do the job. I mean, a lot of us got our start by filling in for guys that ultimately went down. This defense, to me, has been every bit as troublesome as the offense over the course of the last month and a half.
We had Olin with us last
Kind of
week.
bothers me, man.
Yeah.
And Waddle goes, "What do you think, Olin? What's going to happen?" He goes, "Blowout."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean,
We're
yeah.
like,
But
he
that-
and I had it like 24.
Well, I picked the 49ers to win, but I thought the Bears would give a
I thought
better
they would.
effort.
I did too. I thought the Bears would give a better effort, but what you just said, like that kills me a little bit. Like that hurts when you say Coach Washington hasn't done what he was brought in here to do. He's the defensive coordinator. What do you
but
mean?
he hasn't been
what
calling.
what are we talking about?
But he
he's
hasn't
never
called
called
plays.
plays.
I get it.
Yeah.
So what the hell are you doing? Why are we bringing him in here to be the DC? Is it just the title?
Because the head coach was calling the defenses.
We
Well, they don't do anything that makes
Oh,
sense,
man.
Alex.
No,
They don't.
yeah, you're right. I was hoping
Yeah.
that they did a little bit that made sense. This right here, I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, allow the guy that you brought in to do a job to do that job. If you don't think he can do the job,
Don't hire him.
don't hire him to do the job. That's it. I mean, that's simple. That's I don't know. I mean, maybe it is business 101. I don't know. Maybe.
I just
Maybe.
don't understand as well. And I said it last week. Like, I would have left Thomas Brown up in the booth calling plays and let him just focus on the offense. Not because I didn't think he could handle the interim head coaching job, but the most important component of who you are right now is developing this young quarterback. So, I mean, let Richard Hightower or somebody else, because not only is he now not in the booth, he's on the field. Not only is he calling plays, but he also is in charge of all the operations that go along with being a head coach. It's just, you're asking him to do a ton of stuff. And I don't think it's fair to him when you're also asking him to try and get the best out of Caleb. I just think they're a hot mess right now. And I don't know that I know there's not a quick fix because there hasn't been a quick fix in decades.
So okay. So a question is, if you don't make him the interim head coach, and he goes out and he does well as an offensive coordinator, are you going to handicap your new head coach to?
No, I'm not. No.
But then you're going to put him as the head coach when you don't know if he can do that job. So you need to know he can do that job and be the OC. So I don't mind them putting him there to see if he can actually do the job, because that's what the job is.
But,
so I don't.
But now you've asked. I mean, now you've
Is it overload?
You've handcuffed him on both fronts. You know, now he's got to worry about calling plays from the sideline and also worry about all the
Coach,
things
you
that go
want
along
a
with being a head
challenge?
coach.
Well, I mean, if we
Coach,
give you
right.
the head coaching job, if you become the head coach, then this is the job, right?
Yes.
This is the job.
But he's
So,
not experienced enough for
I
it.
mean, can you do? Lovey was experienced.
Lovey had been a DC.
What I mean?
He had
Mike Tomlin was experienced. He was a DC 1 year from Minnesota.
I'm just telling
1
you
year.
what I would have
I'm just
done.
saying, like, it's-
I would have kept him in the booth and allowed him to work just with the offense, because to me the season's basically over, and what's most important to me is the development of the young quarterback.
It is over.
Well, it was at the time. They were still.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, you watch the television; they're still in the hunt.
yeah,
It's
that's
not
amazing.
over.
I
It's not
get it.
over. Like,
Come on, Fox,
okay,
you're better than
this
that.
year, sure, it's over. But like, there's so much that's gonna happen that's gonna affect next year and the following year. That's gonna happen this year by evaluating the players that's gonna be here moving forward when you are good. So, I think that's very important. I think that's a very important part of the development of trying to learn how to win.
But see, Alex, this is what I'm saying. Like, if you were going to judge Thomas Brown on how that team played on Sunday in Santa Clara, you'd give him a big fat F.
Yeah, you would.
And I just think that that's unfair to give him a big fat F because you've put so much on him in such a short period of time. If you allowed him to be your head coach from the start of the season, they're running Shane Waldron's offense. It's not even Thomas Brown's
Thomas
offense.
has said, I can't change the offense.
Right. Like, he has done some things that make it look a little bit more like a Sean McVay offense, but I just think it's too big a mountain for him to climb, and I don't think you're getting a true evaluation of who he is on either job.
Agreed.
Because it's such a cluster, you know.
He's trying to do
Okay.
everything. Our Dr. Pepper play of the game, unfortunately not a good play for the Bears. It was the second Isaac Guerrero TD that made it 31-6, ball game over. Dr. Pepper, get a Dr. Pepper at a McDonald's near you. Try the zero sugar coconut. It is delicious. But on that play, the great Tom Waddle broke down the all-22 and sent me a clip.
Alex and I were talking about it
And
before the
I
show.
thought Jalen Johnson embarrassed himself by making a business decision at the goal line going, I ain't getting in there.
Yeah.
Dude, you just got paid at the top of the heap. You're one of the 5 most highly paid corners in the NFL.
Well, and your coach talked about how we're going to play violent. Like those that, that's how
and
we
that
play.
was as far from violently as possible.
Yes, it was.
So
Yes,
what
it
do
was.
you, as a veteran player on a defense, if you saw that watching tape, would you call your teammate out?
No, I've seen that. I would have seen that on the field. Like, that would have been called out on the field, and it would have been a problem. It would have been a problem right there on the sideline. Because defensively, I guess offensively too, you can have great players make up for mistakes people make. So if the D-line, if we get a sack and a corner jumps a route that he shouldn't have jumped, well, we get the sack. So nobody really understands, like, he jumped that route and he shouldn't have. But we're going to jump on him when we see it on the sideline. They have iPads and stuff. We had paper that we had to flip through. They got iPads. They can see the whole play now. So that's going to be corrected the next series. This not what we can have. Now, we play out in, but you got to have people like this. You got to have people on the team like this. What I'm about to tell you. We played Denver. The only time I played in Denver, we played Denver. Brian Urlacher hits their running back. I think it was Clint Portis, knocks himself out. And Portis out, okay? They're both, like, dizzy. They shouldn't have came back in the game. 2 plays later, they're back in the game.
Yeah, today they wouldn't.
Yeah. Today they're out for 3 weeks. Yeah. But so he comes back in the game, and then we're in the huddle, and then somebody's in the huddle, a linebacker. I'm not gonna say his name. I ain't do him like that. But the linebacker's in the huddle, and Urlacher's about to call the play. He's like, time out. Come on. No, you out. Because he don't trust you. You need somebody that don't care about stepping on toes. I need people out here I can trust.
And so Brian called the timeout?
Time out. Whoa, hold on. Time out. Go. Hey, bring me somebody else. What? Like, I'm telling you, like, do not care. If I can't trust you, you can't be out here. Period. That's what we need. We need somebody. I ain't talking about, like, fist fighting. I'm not promoting that. But every now and then somebody need to be slapped. You know what I mean? Just punch, slap. You know what I mean?
Kind of like Olin?
Yeah. I mean,
He held people
like,
accountable.
I'm like dead serious. Like, somebody needs to not care if somebody likes them. Like, I don't care if you like me. I need you to do your job so I can do my job so we can keep our jobs. You know what I mean? So that's what I need. And I need people on the field like that. If I don't have that, then we all got a problem.
So, Tommy, when you hear them say the Bears need a new coach who is a leader of men,
That's football jargon. I need a coach that can give me a schematic advantage on Sunday, who can connect with his players. But that's just football talk. Like, you know it when you see it. It's not leader of
because
men.
they asked DJ Moore, I think, on the score. No, they asked Jalen Johnson on the score. They said, Kevin Warren said we need a leader of men. What do you think about that? He goes, you're damn right we do. We need someone that's going to hold our locker room accountable.
Well, hold yourself accountable first. You're a professional. Like, I don't get that. I don't understand that. I never will. And maybe that's just the difference between me being old and these guys being
I'm
young.
old, Dan. I'm old.
But, like, hold us accountable, coach us harder. I think Thomas Brown probably does coach them hard and holds them accountable and speaks to them in a manner in which Matt Eberflus did not. And they went out there and shit their pants on Sunday in Santa Clara. Excuse my language. But that effort was unacceptable.
It was
for
pathetic.
a coach that holds you accountable.
We had players on our team, even though, I thought we had a pretty good team. But we had players on our team that there were certain ways you could talk to them. And, like, you could jump down somebody's throat, and they're going to respond a certain way. So I won't say the guy that won't respond the way, but the guy that would, you can curse Peanut out. It doesn't matter. You can call him every name except for a child of God, and he going to respond the right way because he knows what you're trying to get out of it. There were other players that if you said that, all they're thinking about is being pissed off at you. and they're just going in.
They shut down.
They shut down. So there's ways you got to talk to them. But today, all the kids are like that. All of them. They're all like, oh, I need some time. You need time? How about I give you some time? Hey, coach want to see you upstairs. How about I give you as much time as you need? Because that isn't a fear to me. That isn't a fear, I don't believe, to the players today as it was for us. I wanted my job because it was a job. It's not something that I'm supposed to do, that I am privileged to do. No. I have to go earn this every day because I played 9 years. The only game I missed in my career was the game that Coach Geron walked up to me. I am ready. I'm ready to go. First game, I got my jersey laid out. I got my hair. I'm sitting up here talking to my helmet like, come on, baby. Whoo, we got to get this done. You know what I mean? Coach Geron come out, hey, Alex, are you going to be down today? And walks away. Hold on, listen. I've never not been picked. Like 4 years old on up, I ain't never not been picked to play. PE, I'm number one. Come on. He said, you're going to be down today. Don't worry about it. What? I was hot. I was so mad. I ain't talked to anybody. Mike Brown was the only one that came up and talked to me that day. That's it. We played Minnesota. I'll never forget it. 2 games in my life that I did not care if the Bears won or lost. That Minnesota game, and then that Green Bay game and the NFC Championship game, because I refuse to believe that you guys got better and you got rid of me. That's the thing. So those 2 games, I'm just like, eh. But that first game, that Minnesota game, I was not there. I ain't missed another game because I don't know if coach thinks you're better than me, but he ain't going to see you. He's not going to see you. I'm going to be there every day. I'm at every practice. I'm at every game. I don't miss anything. I don't think they have
I just don't get
now.
the concept of you. We need you to hold us accountable.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, you're not children. You're adults. Like, I mean, again, I'm not suggesting we all played. I'm sure Lovey may not have been the most yelling and screaming coach, but I'm sure he was a disciplinarian.
Absolutely.
I played for a guy that was a disciplinarian and would yell and scream. But I just don't understand the concept, and I've heard it all season long. And I'm just baffled. Like, we need people to coach us harder.
Look versus a micro. Like micro, I don't need you to tell me to do my job, but I might need you to tell the group.
I think Thomas Brown took that approach. And you saw what happened to them Saturday or Sunday in Santa Clara. I think Thomas Brown does command a room. Like, when I hear him talk, I'm like, yes. There's a guy who is a leader of men. But when the lights are on and the ball's in the air, you've got to perform.
Yes.
Like, it's on you.
Yep.
The coach can't go out there and make plays for you.
Play the game at a high level. Played at I can't stand the school, but I think they're a very, very good school as far as the Georgia Bulldogs. So he played there. So when you look at him, you're like, okay, he played. He did. Like, it's not somebody that didn't play that's trying to tell me what to do. No, he played, and he played at a high level. So, yeah, when he walks into the room, like, you respect that. Like, when a guy that hasn't played, you got to do a little bit more to get that respect. But for us, when Ron Rivera walks into the room, well, shit, he played for the 85 Bears. Like, whatever you say, let's go. Like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
But when other people walk in, they don't have that same respect or get that same respect from you, but you have to take it on yourself. I'm with Waddle.
I think they've got to void a leadership on their roster. Like, if you're leaning on the coaches to hold you accountable, that tells me your locker room isn't holding itself accountable.
100%.
And I don't know if we said this the last time we were together, but your antennas should have gone up because a lot of your leadership comes from the trenches. Nobody's going to listen to my dumb ass. I'm 15 yards off to the side. I weigh 190 pounds. I'm not going to get in the face of Keith Van Horn and tell him, hey, next time, Reggie White's coming at you, keep him off our quarterback. No. Your offense and defensive linemen are usually, part of your leadership group. There's not a single offense or defensive lineman in their leadership council. Think about that. Like, you're truly built from the outside in. Like, the game in the trenches, that's where,
That's where it's won.
That's where it's won, and that's where your leadership is shown and exercised. There's not a single guy in the trenches that's part of that leadership group. Now, you get a couple of tight ends, but they're not. That's not the crew I'm talking about. I'm not talking about D. I'm talking about D ends, D tackles, why wasn't Billings one of this group?
Yeah, like
why
the
didn't you
rugged,
force
the rugged
Darnell
guys,
Wright
you know,
to
like
do it?
us, like
Well,
the rugged
when you
guys.
pay
you
Nate
know?
Davis $30 million, he should be one of those guys.
Well, he's not,
Well,
but
He's not even in the league anymore.
But just think about that. Like, would you, like,
Just
I don't
because you
know.
pay him, that don't do it. Just because Julius Peppers got paid $90 million, he still ain't say a word.
Right.
Like, he still didn't say a word like that.
But he
that's
played
not
at a
it.
high level.
He played at a high level, but that's not leadership. That's not what we're talking about. Like, you need somebody. Urlacher got paid and played at a high level and held people accountable because he knew what you were supposed. He knew your job as good, if not better.
John
than you did.
Lester signed with the Cubs 10 years ago today. And he said, I lead by how I work.
Right.
I'm not the guy that's going to get up in front of the group. I'm
which is
not.
fine.
Which works sometimes. And sometimes the other way works because or don't work. Mike Brown was a very vocal guy, and there were some people that shut him out because he just I'm this guy again, right? But I mean, sometimes like you need that guy. I think Urlacher and Olin was that guy. Olin led by a different creed, I'll say. If you didn't listen, he's gonna make you listen. Like you gonna listen, and like we're gonna get to this. We're gonna get to this at some point.
It just
he
tells
play-
me
he
that
play no
there's,
games, man.
it just tells me there's, they lack some, not just leadership, but they lack some toughness.
The
If
toughness,
you don't
man.
have any of your offensive or defensive linemen
In that group.
All right, let's get our Special Olympics Illinois Special Teams Player of the Week. Special Teams Player of the Week is Tory Taylor. All 6 of his punts.
Oh my God, we're doing this again.
Hold on.
Oh my God, we're doing this again.
What would you like me to find out of special teams?
Just don't
By
give
the way,
one.
Special. Tell that to the
Jeez.
sponsor.
Oh, that's true.
Special
All right,
Olympics
all right.
Illinois. When voices tell us you can't or you won't, we simply say I did. Special Olympics Illinois. So I did. Learn more at SOILL.org. Special Olympics Illinois. So I did. And the amazing thing is, if you look at what he did this week, Tory Taylor, 6 punts, 316 yards. More playing time for him than half of the offensive players that appeared.
When
for the
what he
Bears.
did really didn't factor in, at least in the first half, because they had 319 yards and 24 points. They marched it from one end of the field to the next.
Whatever they
so
wanted.
he could have punted it wherever he wanted to punt it, and they were going to shove it down your throat. So
Every game except for my first game, I just told y'all I didn't play. But every single game my rookie year, I played more than 6 plays. Every game. And y'all never talked about me like y'all talk about this guy. He played 6 plays. What are we talking about here? Like, what?
He averaged 50-some yards a punt.
6 plays. Like, oh my gosh. All right. Wow.
it's been one of those
And
years.
he went the same round as you.
He shouldn't have. He was a reach. He was a reach, yeah. They got lucky that I was still there. Yeah.
You slid.
Yeah,
to the
I
floor.
slid.
And
to
listen,
the
one
board,
of their
yeah.
problems is also, in all seriousness, your third round pick was injured when you picked him. He has had no impact at all. Amagaji. You drafted a punter with the fourth round pick. Booker really hasn't contributed much of anything. Go back to last year. I mean, Tyler Scott, you used a 4th round pick on him. He's not even dressed for games. Valus Jones is not on the
He
roster
just
any
got
longer.
picked up by the Panthers
Zach
today.
Pickens is not doing anything for you. Like,
Jervon Dexter hadn't played well.
so I mean, there haven't been enough hits to really bolster this roster.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We are at Hooters. We are in Aurora. Feldco Football Recap live with Alex and Tommy. Be right back.
Our Midwestern winters bring the toughest elements. Let the experts at Feldco keep your home and your family warm, safe, and comfortable this winter. Right now, get 30% off windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 1 year. With high-quality, American-made products built specifically for Midwestern weather, Feldco's got you covered. 30% off and soon. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Apt. For the best appliances for football season, shop at Apt. Pleasing people since 1936. Find them at apt.com. Four Seasons, heating, plumbing, air conditioning, and electric. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons. When you're on the Tollway, peace of mind is just a call away. With the Illinois Tollway Star 999 service, help is always at your fingertips. Whether it's a flat tire or an unexpected breakdown, our dedicated team is here to assist you anytime and anywhere on the Tollway. Drive with confidence knowing that Star 999 is just a dial away. Remember, Star 999, we're always there. All right, time for our Chevy drive of the game. Bears right out of the halftime locker room. 16 plays, 70 yards. It took 9:04 off the clock. Caleb Williams to Rome Adunze, their first of two hookups on the day. Again, 16, 70 yards, 9:04 off the clock. Yusra from Hooters is here with us. Hi, Yusra. How are you?
Hi, guys.
So you guys have some holiday specials here. What have you got?
Hi. Yeah, so Hooters is offering a special menu throughout this football season. It's featuring a variety of new delicious items, including our pickle fries and our chicken tenders. Also, this holiday season, Hooters has you covered. If you purchase a $25 Hooters gift card, you'll receive $5 in bonus bucks.
There you go. Right there. There's the bonus bucks. And
You're not getting this one, not this one, but you'll get one.
It is a limited time offer, so make sure you go to your local Hooters and purchase a gift card this holiday season.
all right, and Tommy's going to eat the tacos.
I
right
brought
there.
them over for Alex.
They're
I
good.
thought he was looking at them.
They're really good.
Yeah, okay.
And we call Alex Ms. Pac-Man.
Miss Patman?
Really? Wow. Yusra.
But he keeps.
Really? You call me Miss Pac-Man? Wow.
I'm sorry.
Yusra, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
it. Thank you.
All right, make sure you get the bonus bucks at the Hooters near you. I have a question from one of our fine guests here at Hooters, Chris Langan, Katie's dad, says, can the Bears go get a John Gruden-like coach that players want to play for? What would you think about John Gruden, Tommy?
I don't think that the folks up at Hallis Hall have the stomach for him. So I would say I think it's more likely that somebody like Mike Vrabel or Brian Flores would fill that role. So same type of coach. I think that's more likely.
What do you say?
No, I don't think the players have the stomach to
That's a good
handle a
point,
coach like that. Like I really don't. I don't think the players today can stand a coach yelling and screaming at them if they're not drafted here and taught that way. You have to draft players like that. You have to understand what players you're drafting and where you're drafting them from.
You played for Steve Spurrier.
Yes, correct.
He
We
was
were ready to go.
and he was tough.
Oh, he didn't play no games. He don't care about you talking. Okay, so 99, I talked a lot of trash before the Tennessee game. Okay, a lot of trash. It's out of character, but
Not
yeah.
really.
What? Like, I'm talking a lot of trash, and then I went and balled out, right? In 2000, I tried the same thing. I did not ball out. On Monday, I did not practice. I was in shorts and a T-shirt if I wanted it, and I ran stadiums the entire practice. Oh. Listen, like, it was hard. No, yeah, you're fine. Talk trash, but you better go back it up. If you don't, then there's a punishment for it. That's it. Like, and that's how he was. He didn't play any games. And my first 2 years, I had Stoops as the defensive coordinator. He didn't play any games. So you need players that have been built in football that same way.
That guy was built that way.
100%. Heck yeah. But if you don't get those guys and you try to change them once they get here, then you're going to have a little pushback. And I think that's what you're going to get with the kids today because they're not taught that way.
Well, Mike Vrabel doesn't mess around.
He doesn't. But, I mean, he has to understand the kids are different. These kids, we're talking about, you're drafting kids that more than likely have been to 2-3 different colleges.
Yeah. And made a ton of money.
Right. And they're like, if it doesn't go my way, you know what, I'm going to just move. I'm going to just go over here. But that doesn't work in the NFL. That's not how it works. So when you have a guy like a rookie, Stevenson, who shows so much promise, and then his second year he does something like that as far as in practice, something don't go his way, he just leaves, that's crazy. But you see how the kids are these days, and you have to have a coach, I think, that can get the best out of them, but also like resonate with them a little bit. Because Vrabel, I'm not saying it's not going to work. I'm just saying you have to turn over that roster to get some guys in here that can be coached that way.
Yeah, there aren't guys on this roster that fit his personality.
No.
So I think Alex makes a great point. At that juncture, if that's the route you went, you'd have to give him some serious input into who you are going to put on that roster so that those guys would fit his style. So, I mean, it is a different business these days.
But before you go there, the end of that question was a coach that players want to play for. You should play this game because since you were 5,
You wanted to make
you
it to the
wanted to
NFL.
be
Amen.
here.
Amen.
That's why you should play, not because of the coach. You shouldn't even go to college because of a coach. Coaches change.
Yes.
You should go to college because you love the college, period.
Yeah.
Not because of a coach. Truly, you got to find players that love football. Sure, we all want to get paid at some point. You want to get paid. I love the grass being cut because it reminded me of training camp. That's the part I loved about football. I love everything about football. So getting money is not going to change that for me because I love football. I need football players. I don't care about the linebacker that's 6'3", 245 pounds that runs a 3.4. We saw Leon Joe do that. I'm taking Lance Briggs every day. The chubby, short linebacker that is a Hall of Famer in the next couple of years. That's the guy I want. I want a football player. I don't want guys that look like they can play football. I want football players. That's what I want.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's tough to connect with guys these days, but it's your job. It's your job.
Correct.
Pat McNulty says, Tommy, what are the expectations for the final 4 games of the year?
The expectation is that if you're an individual player, that you better go out there and do your job. I would think that everybody's being evaluated right now. There's mass disappointment with this group. We were told in Hard Knocks, it's time to win. They've lost 7 in a row. They're 4-9, and I don't see another win on their schedule. Maybe I'll be wrong. Here's hoping that they don't end up with an 11-game losing streak, but when you have hit a valley like this, I think everybody's being evaluated. Now, you can't get rid of everyone. Some guys have been paid, but a new coach could come in and say, hey, look, you know what? That guy, even though he's got a long-term contract and you guys decided to pay him a lot of money, doesn't fit what we're trying to do or what I'm trying to do, we should think about moving that guy. So I think everybody, when you've underachieved the way that this group has underachieved, I think every single person on that field is being evaluated. So I would say, hey, play because you love the sport, as Alex said, and you always want to be the best that you can be. But if you're motivated by keeping your job, I would suggest you go out there and do your job.
Cap, we my rookie year we won
5
4
games.
5?
5-11.
We lost 9 in a row. Cap, I lost 10 games in college.
So wait, you were
Period.
5-2 and lost out?
No, I actually think we won the first 2 and then lost 9 in a row.
Oh, wow.
Serious, down in Champaign. Yeah. Oh, Cap, I lost 10 games my entire career at Florida. And we lost 9 in a row. Cap, I'm in my locker crying. Cap, I don't know what the hell to do. I need some people crying. I ain't seen nobody crying. I ain't seen nobody like it means something to you. I hate losing. I hate losing. And what people were on that team, people were more worried about Thursday than Sunday. Thursday we get paid. Sorry. Thursday, that check come in. You know what I mean? That check come in. Everybody was worried about, well, the check going to come no matter what. So let's win. Why can't we win? I don't understand this. If the check's going to come no matter what, why can't we win?
You can tell this group is not bothered by losing.
No,
or
that has to
bothered
be a
enough.
problem.
Yeah.
That has to be a problem when you lose because it is somebody's fault. Somebody ain't doing their job, and somebody needs to be telling them they ain't doing their job. And if the coach won't do it, there has to be some player that do not care about being friends to come up and tell somebody you need to do your damn job better.
And this was the year where they were supposed to be winning more than losing.
Yeah.
Ryan
I agreed with
Pohl said it's time to win.
I agree with the total teardown 2 years ago. Last year I understood, that you need to make progress. Year 3,
Man.
now
We need to see
you're
something.
supposed to win.
Yeah.
And they've taken a huge step back.
Huge, yes. I think we got a quarterback.
I agree with that.
I think we got a
100%.
quarterback, but
100%.
Yeah, I think he's legit, and I think he can help cover up some warts as we grow this thing. But
I think in a lot of ways he's the most mature guy in the building, and he's just turned 23, which is concerning in some ways, but it's comforting in other ways.
Agreed.
For Alex and Tom, this is from Cam and Ollie Murphy. Who talks the most shit that you played against?
I played against. Oh, gosh. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know there was one guy, Todd Scott, who was a cornerback with the Vikings.
He's the one that picked off Harbaugh when Ditka had the meltdown on Jim.
True. He always talked. Ray Crockett for the Lions always had something to say. Benny Blades always had something to say. Dion, I played against Dion a couple of times. Dion, I never heard Dion say anything on the field. He was by far the best cornerback I ever played against. Darryl Green was also Hall of Famer, but didn't say anything. It was always the guys that were the best at their jobs that really kind of didn't say a whole lot, at least in the secondary.
Like Michael Jordan was the most famous trash talker.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Time.
I think it's just an individual characteristic, but yeah, I would say a couple of guys in Detroit were probably the loudest people I ever played against.
Steve Smith.
From the Panthers?
From the Panthers and their quarterback. What was his name?
Jake Delhomme.
Oh, Jesus. He never shut up. Oh, my God. He just talked trash all day. Oh, DeLong, he never stopped. Just going. And then we didn't blow them out. I think we beat them like 13-3 in the season in 05. But it was such a whooping. It should have been more than that. We sacked him like 9 times.
And then they came and played you in the playoffs.
See, there you go. See, why you got to do that? I was getting to that. Why you got to speed up to that?
Because I bet the Panthers
they came.
that day.
Wow. Oh, my God. So, yeah. Then they came here, and he did not stop. But Steve Smith overtook that because Steve
was amazing.
Never shot up. He was just, he was unbelievable. But
he could back it up.
He could back it up, yes. They were really good, man. Really,
Okay.
really good.
Kevin Tracy said these guys get to choose. You have Ben Johnson with Robert Salah as your DC,
Okay.
or Mike Vrabel with Thomas Brown as your OC. Which one you signing up for?
I'd go with Ben Johnson and Robert Saleh. That's what I would do. Because I've said all along, my preference is that they have an offensive-minded head coach. I'm not saying that's the only way to get this done, but that would be my preference. You gave me a choice. That's the route I would go.
I'm there. I mean, I want Ben Johnson. I want him here. He may be awful. Yeah. I want him here. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Vrabel?
Vrabel got a job. Does he have a job right now?
He's-
All right.
he's a
well,
kid,
He's a consultant for the
yeah,
Browns.
okay. He ain't got no job. All right. He ain't got no job. So I'm not clamoring over Vrabel. No. What did he do at the Titans?
Took him to the AFC title game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get credit for that now? Okay. I'm just saying, you get credit for that these days? No, you don't. You get fired at 10-6 in this town if you do that. Yeah, no. I'm good. I'm taking Ben Johnson with, I'm not gonna say whoever, but with Salah, yeah, sure.
I think Ben
going.
Johnson also understands how important the offensive line is. His job is
Yes.
made significantly easier because of the line he's been gifted. And I think knowing that and having the luxury of having to call plays with a group like that, wherever he goes next, the offensive line is going to be a huge priority for him.
He's been through that reaction to making the unpopular pick, because when everybody picked the right tackle,
Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell, it's like, wait,
We're
what?
like, why didn't you take a receiver?
Yeah, and then the running back when they took Jahmyr Gibbs, it's like, wait, didn't you just get Gibbs? I'm sorry, didn't you just get Montgomery? Like, what are y'all doing? So he understands like that part of it, like making that tough pick and understanding like what the reason is, and also the time it takes to actually build this thing. Like it's not overnight. You have to build it a certain way, and we've said over and over again, the Chicago Bears are building this football team from the outside in. The Detroit Lions, when you look at them, they built it from the inside out, and that's the way it is. They used to try to do it the other way. Remember when they went like 4 years in a row and they drafted
Charles
like a
Rogers
receiver like
and
every year?
Calvin
Moore.
Johnson, Herman Moore.
Like,
yeah.
what are they doing? Like, what are you like? Come on, let's get this offensive line right. Let's get this defensive line right. And
But
then
the Bears haven't done that.
no, but I mean, No, they have not. No. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Gosh.
They need somebody to help them identify the correct offensive lineman. And my guess is Ben Johnson's had his eye on a couple of these guys the last 3 years, so he would know a really good offensive lineman when he sees one.
Well, you just got to – Ben Johnson has to have the influence on Ryan Poles to be able to move up to get a guy that he likes.
Yeah.
I need that guy.
The guy, I'm blanking on his name, but he went to Indy. The offensive lineman.
Quentin Nelson.
Amazing. Nelson. So we wanted Nelson when he came out. I think he went a pick before us. You don't let that happen if you really want him. If you think he's that guy, you go get him. Like, it doesn't matter what it takes. Go get him. He's that guy. He's turned out to be that guy. But you settle.
They took Roquan with that pick.
You settle for Roquan, a guy that in 3 years you got rid of. 3.5 years, whatever it was. Like, you got rid of because he couldn't play in the system that you switched to.
Yeah.
That offensive lineman, he's going to play in whatever. So he moved people. He does exactly what football is. He moves grown men that don't want to be moved. It's very simple. That's simple. Like, Cap, listen to me. You don't want to be moved right now.
No.
I want to move you. You getting up.
I am moving.
You getting up. Like, that's it.
You would Quentin Nelson, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that to you, but yes. But that's football. That is what football is. Doing something and making this man, this defensive lineman on the opposite side, the defensive lineman making an offensive lineman do something. I'm going to push you back a yard to make sure you don't pick up this 3rd and 1. I'm going to make you start back a yard or two behind the line of scrimmage. That is doing something that another man, he don't want to do. But I don't care what you want to do. This is what's happening right now. And you need those people. I've said so many times, it makes my head hurt. We need some hoodlums in here. Stop getting all these good guys. We need some hoodlums in the building. Get some hoodlums. Stop drafting these guys from North Carolina. Hey, man, go down to Miami and get you some boys. Get to Florida, get you some boys. And you need some hoodlums in here, man. This is what we need to dominate. I'm telling you. Northwestern ain't won a championship.
No.
Duke don't win championships. Stop drafting these guys. I'm telling you. Hey, I know I get it, but they don't win, man.
Tommy, this is
South Carolina ain't won nothing. Stop drafting guys from South Carolina.
Tommy from Kyle Dell. He said, do the McCaskies have to sell the team for the Bears to have a cohesive organization and a good coaching staff?
They shouldn't have to, but history tells us that they haven't been able to solve this to this point. That's why my level of optimism isn't very high, because I've seen the same mistake over and over again. But look, nobody's going to pressure a billionaire into selling a $5 billion asset. Like, we can scream as loud as we want.
If he doesn't want to sell it, he's not selling it.
Why would he? He's making money. They're all making money, regardless of how successful they are. And as loud as we bellow, it doesn't change the value of the asset. There was a time maybe when these franchises were worth $400 or $500 million, and ticket sales, could dent what the value of the franchise was. There's nothing that can penetrate the value of these franchises. They're going to appreciate. So we can be pissed as a fan base. You're not going to force a billionaire to sell his $5 billion asset because you're pissed off because he doesn't win consistently. That's just reality.
So that's an unbelievable point, and I agree with you totally. The money part is one thing. I'm sorry, my grandfather started this thing?
Yeah.
You want me to give it up? Are you crazy?
Right.
There is no chance. Zero. So let's move past this,
right,
because I'm not giving it up. So either wait till I fix it, or I want to fix it. I want to do what's good for the fans.
But he doesn't know how. He's been there since 2011. He's got 0 playoff wins.
You'd give it up? You would? Grandfather started it.
$6 billion?
Started it.
Let me ask you a question. If Jeff Bezos walked up to him right now and said, I got $250 billion. Billion with a B.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There's $10 billion. I want the team. You don't think he gives it to him?
I don't know. I don't think he would. But George Halas ain't my grandfather. I would give it up. He can have it. I'm out the door. Give me that check. I'm gone.
$10 billion.
I'm gone.
See you later.
$10 billion?
I don't think, though, that they acknowledge or are bothered by the difference between $5 billion and $10 billion. It could be $15 billion, Cap.
They don't care.
$5 billion is more money than they would all spend in their lives anyway. So whether you bought it for $10 billion or $5 billion, they're rich beyond rich. Now the problem is it's all, their cash. Cash poor is the wrong way to say it, but like
don't
none
you
of them
get-
have
wouldn't you
realized the
get
enormous
tired
wealth.
of walking into the owners' meetings every year and have people go, "There's the Bears."
I don't know,
Can
you-
we get you twice next
Cap,
year?
you'd have to ask him.
But we still have the team that you all always talk about. We still have the greatest team ever.
They were.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I just-
I'm just saying, like,
I think the concept of, I would never tell a fan how to fan. You want to go to the game even though they've been massively disappointed. That's the way you want to spend your discretionary income. You got kids, and they love to go to the games even when they're not playing well. Then I'm all for you going to the games and supporting the franchise. If you don't want to go and you feel like the best way for you to make your point is clear and as loud as possible that you're not going to go to the games and you're not going to give them your money, then I'm all for that as well. You fan however you want to fan. I just think it's ridiculous in today's environment if anyone ever says to you, well, you need to hold the owners accountable and force them to sell. I can't force. I can sit here and pound them hour after hour
Fair.
after hour.
Fair.
And I'm not going to force somebody to sell a $5 billion asset that only appreciates. They're giggling at us. My being pissed off and their lack of consistent
Keep
success.
talking about my product.
Well, not just that, Cap, but it doesn't affect the value of the franchise.
No.
It has no
it's going up
impact
18%.
on
It's
it.
going up 18% guaranteed. And just so everybody watching, I'm sorry, Cap. I know you got to get to the next one, but just to put in perspective what this the million to billion is. I did this other day about a week ago. So 1 million seconds is like 12, 13 days. 1 billion seconds is like 32 years. Like, just to put in perspective, like what we're talking about, we say billion. Billion is insane.
Insane.
10 billion? Cause I'm walking out the door. Let me see that check. I'm gone. Granddaddy. Hey, I appreciate you, baby. I appreciate you.
I'm going to get on air, Alex.
Like, I'm telling you, like, God, dog.
Wow.
That's crazy.
We've got to talk quickly about Caleb. It is our Hooters Winging It segment. Hooters, the best wings in town. Go to a Hooters near you. 17 of 23, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns. What did you think of Caleb overall on Sunday?
You put that overall in there.
Yeah, I didn't think he played well in the first half. I don't think the ball came out as fast as it was before.
How many sacks did you put on him?
I think there was 2 or 3, but the offensive line is not good enough.
Putrid.
He made some good throws. I don't think it was his best game. But listen, that's the life of a rookie quarterback. Like the 3 previous weeks, he was much more
But you're
impressive.
still convinced.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it's the one thing from the 2024 season that I'm most still excited about. My enthusiasm and my optimism about his capabilities has not wavered at all. No. And again, he hasn't been perfect. There will be moments, but the overall body of work to me is convincing.
I see so much that makes me go like, wow, like, dang, I'm glad he's on our team.
Yeah.
I see the throws at the end of the season, at the end of the 2023 season, we got smoked by the Packers. And at the end of that game, I was on a show and I said, I want a quarterback like that.
Yeah.
Like Love. I want a quarterback to make the throws that we
Jordan
can win.
Love.
Jordan Love. I want a quarterback that we can win because of. Right?
Caleb's that guy.
Caleb is that guy. We can win because of him. And this is his rookie season. And, I mean, he may not, but I really believe he is. Like, he's only going to get better from here. So wherever you see him at now, he's only going to get better. So let's just – he's like Bitcoin. Like, he's amazing.
Buy it now.
Buy it now, baby. Buy it while it's low, baby. Buy it while everybody got questions.
You know what else is good about him? Like, what was one of the things that he struggled with in college? He turned the ball over. Not throwing interceptions, fumbling. Doesn't do that now. Like, he has worked hard on taking care of the football when he's going to tuck and run or when he's going to slide in the pocket. These are all things that young quarterbacks have to learn to do. and he's got an appetite for getting better. And no, I'm thrilled that he's our quarterback.
And it was always the fumbling part. It was never him giving the ball away. There were year after years and years of us looking at Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, wondering how in the hell do you only throw 4 picks a year? Yeah. How do you not throw more than 5 interceptions a year? And we have a quarterback that takes care of the football.
We're finding out.
Yes, we see it. So, yeah.
All right, finally, our look ahead with our predictions. Brought to you by the Illinois Tollway. When you're on the Tollway, peace of mind is just a call away. Use Illinois Tollway star 999. Service help is always at your fingertips. Flat tire, unexpected breakdown. Our dedicated team is here to assist you anytime, anywhere on the Tollway. Star 999. Remember, star 999. Do the Bears beat the Vikings? Monday Night Football in Minneapolis.
No. What? No. What? No. Did you not see Sam Darnold this past weekend?
He was amazing.
No, he done found it again. Like, no. Oh, God.
Tommy?
No.
No, I don't. I mean, look, I know I've been drunk on haterade here on this show the last several weeks, and it's
Yeah, you have.
It's because I'm so disappointed in what they've done, and I think all of them collectively are better than they've performed. It's been a frustrating year. I think playing in Minneapolis, it's significantly more difficult as an offense to function inside that building with that noise than it is when you were playing them at home. It's an entirely different animal, and they're 11-2. They're feeling themselves. They'll play quick on their surface. No, I don't think the Bears
will it get
win this
ugly?
game.
It could get ugly.
Will it get ugly? Like they'll have 4 yards of offense.
No,
in the first half?
we have more than 4 yards of offense in the first half. Yes, we will have that. But it could get ugly. Yeah, it still could get ugly. But I think it's a new situation to put Caleb in a loud environment, and I want to see how he responds. Yeah.
Good luck.
This is not. We're not winning the Super Bowl. We're not. So let's see him in different situations. Let's see how he responds. Let's keep working on him on 18 to see if we can continue to help him be better.
You know what's really funny, real quick, is I've heard people say, well, if we get to the end of the year, I'm going to shut him down against the Packers.
No.
I'd never do that.
No.
I mean, like, I get it. The fear of injury is something that, you can't play scared.
Guess what?
This
He's a
kid needs
football
every
player.
one of these snaps. So, like Alex said, this experience against the Vikings in their building will be invaluable for his growth.
Correct. And then, did you not think I was going to get hurt the first 16 games?
Right.
Why you want to shut me down game 17? I don't understand that. That kills me.
Yeah.
I'm still upset with Lovey about that. Shutting us down in 05 when we could have broke that 85 team record. Yeah. Yeah, Cap, we were real close. All we had to do is give up less than 18 points, and we would have broke that record.
Who were you playing?
The Minnesota Vikings.
Who was their quarterback?
I don't know. He was sorry. I don't know. Whoever it was, they wouldn't have scored 18 if that first team defense would have stayed in there. They scored 30. They scored 30 against us that game, and I'm still upset with that.
As Bill Parcells once told me, you are what your record says.
That is not true. That is not true.
Guys, thank you for your time.
Gosh.
Thank you again to Hooters.
Woo!
We'll see you in January at the Melrose Park Hooters. So make sure you call your Melrose Park Hooters, get a table. For
Yes.
Feldco, our great sponsors, have a great rest of your night. Bear down.
Bear down. Let's go.
Our Midwestern winters bring the toughest elements. Let the experts at Feldco keep your home and your family warm, safe, and comfortable this winter. Right now, get 30% off windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no interest for 1 year. With high-quality, American-made products built specifically for Midwestern weather, Feldco's got you covered. 30% off ends soon. Hurry, call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Feldco Football Recap Live is brought to you by Feldco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELDCO, Chicago's home renewal experts. Your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. Hooters. At Hooters, originality isn't just one thing, it's everything. World-famous wings and more, served up by the iconic Hooters girl. Hooters, always original. Dr. Pepper, an American original just like our Chicago Bears. Grab an ice cold, refreshing Dr. Pepper today at a McDonald's near you. Special Olympics Illinois. Special Olympics Illinois, so I did. Learn more at SOILL.org. Apt. For the best appliances for football season, shop at Apt. Pleasing people since 1936. Find them at apt.com. Four Seasons, heating, plumbing, air conditioning, and electric. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons. When you're on the Tollway, peace of mind is just a call away. With the Illinois Tollway Star 999 service, help is always at your fingertips. Whether it's a flat tire or an unexpected breakdown, our dedicated team is here to assist you anytime and anywhere on the Tollway. Drive with confidence knowing that Star 999 is just a dial away. Remember, Star 999, we're always there when you need us.
I'm craving
wings. Frigidaire's range lets you air fry right in your oven. It's all the flavor, none of the guilt.
so
Good. That's using your Frigidaire.
For free in-home delivery, professional installation, and complete satisfaction, shop at Apt, pleasing people since 1936.